Natural 20.
You get the crowbar in there, and you pop the trap open for just a split second, yank your foot out, and it crashes back on the crowbar with such force that you can see the trap biting around each side of the metal, and the crowbar is now stuck fast.
Gus is jumping around going, son of a... God, ow, 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 ow.
Your
ow,
leg
ow.
is gravely injured to the point where you can barely walk on it.
I have a medicine of 0.
I'm trained in medicine as well.
Seeker looks at that, pulls Florian aside for a second, and says, "It looks like things are getting a little dangerous here. I saw you casting that spell on the others. I want you to help me out too. What do I need to give you?"
Well, what you need to give me, and this is not a decision you should be making lightly.
Okay.
I need to know your real name.
All right. So you can't tell the others.
Okay.
It's Jeffrey Moss.
I love it. I love it. That's
Got
a
it.
great name.
What?
Which is like Smith for forest gnomes.
This is
I'm very
ridiculous.
happy. I'm very happy about that. I'm so happy.
Oh, I thought you were like making a reference to like Sesame Street.
What's next?
Okay.
How are you doing, Gustav? Aside
Gus
from the
just-
previous leg injury.
Gus he's pointing at his foot. Like,
I mean,
making kind of...
He's got a broken bone in his leg where this bear trap snapped shut on him.
All right,
he's having a
that's
bad day.
beyond what I can deal with today. Let's grab what we can carry and head back and talk to Doc.
So, question: if I second wind, would it magically fix my foot?
No, you get your hit points back, but you're still going to have this leg injury.
Okay. Like,
Mechanically, I'm going to say that you're moving at half speed and you cannot take a dash action.
okay,
Also, climbing is going to be very difficult if you're climbing a ladder.
I can keep going. Let's keep going.
Nah,
Like, if
I'm calling it.
If we don't keep going, they're gonna come get this stuff. Can we at least take the stuff with us?
Yes, we're obviously taking the stuff with us.
Okay, I'm gonna sit here while you guys carry it out. Have fun.
So what are you guys taking from this dungeon?
I think we take at least the rope and the sails.
Yeah, we take the magic stuff. I would like to get as much of value as I can carry out of here.
Take the clothes, the nice clothes. Maybe we
Yeah.
can sell them.
Okay, so you got a set of silk clothes. You're taking the long fuse. You're taking the 2 sails. You're taking the 2 boxes.
And Gus points at the beads and says we should take those too.
I don't think you want to disturb those before we're ready to come back. What about all these provisions and whatnot?
Set fire to them?
What kind of provisions are they?
Non-perishable foodstuffs.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is weeks of our grocery bill, guys.
I say we take them back out and we give them to people at Broken Wall.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
These are probably some of these crab traps were probably stolen from them anyway.
Yeah, we don't have to pull them that far.
Yeah. Yeah, I say we like spend
That's
some number of hours.
I'll say you guys can make 2 trips before the tide is too high and you're not going to be able to get out again.
So yeah, my first trip is going to be the clothes, and my second trip is going to be the spell components.
Is Gus making these trips with you?
No, I'm not letting Gus carry stuff.
Okay.
He's one way only. He's coming out.
You take him up to docks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me save this.
Okay, I want everybody to know that it is a very applicable way to search for traps, to just walk into them.
Yeah,
that's
you're the best rogue I've ever seen.
And
This is
now,
so much more efficient than rolling every 10 feet.
Birch Road has a part of his notes. What happens if they leave it early? Let's punish them.
When you guys come in to take the second load out, some of the foodstuffs and things, are you guys doing anything with the bugbear, I should ask, or just leaving him to his devices?
I'll leave him some
Really?
of the food.
Leave him some food where?
On the
Kind of in
pallet.
this corner, yeah.
on the
on the
pallet.
pallet.
On the pallet?
On the pallet
Yeah.
that he was sleeping on, yeah.
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 Okay. So when you guys come in for your second load, he's back at the pallet, gorging himself on the food that you've left for him. And as he sees you enter the room, hopping over his little hole here, he stops eating and just watches you very warily. And he quickly puts the food down on the pallet and his hand behind his back. And just watches you.
Oh, that's an improvement. I have no idea what to do with a mutated bugbear.
Good lab.
In terms of social services.
Also, when you guys get back into this room for your second load, the stair has righted itself, and all that is left is a blood splotch on it where Gus had been injured.
Oh man, I wanted to get that bear trap. Wait, my crowbar's still in there. Was it able to
It's
is the
laying
crowbar
there.
missing?
No, it's laying right there.
Oh, okay.
The bear trap
I'll-
opened up, the stair repaired itself, the crowbar is laying there.
I'll pick up my crowbar then.
Make a wisdom check.
Sure.
Oop.
2.
This is a great idea. Make a dexterity saving throw. You can make this at advantage.
Let's just cripple 2-player characters. Man.
That would be a dexterity 7.
7.
No, not
9.
I can replace that with the die I rolled, which is a 7.
14 piercing damage. You're very
I'm
careful
unconscious.
to not place any weight on the stair, but as you lift the crowbar off of it, the trap snaps shut on your arm again, and the shock sends you unconscious. And he's stuck fast there with a broken arm in this trap.
Oh.
Can I pull that trap open and get him out?
I mean, he's still holding the crowbar.
Yeah, grab the crowbar quickly.
Gus would
Yeah.
be really good at this.
We can do it as a team effort.
Alexander.
Well, okay.
Florian
All right,
says
so
to the unconscious Alex.
Lucius grabs the crowbar and goes to pry it open.
Okay, it's a strength check at advantage.
Okay, thank God for that advantage. That's an 18.
And his arm goes limp as it falls out of the trap as it opens. And once he's free, the trap snaps shut again, once again, latching onto this crowbar.
Lucius gives Alex his healing potion. So 2d4 plus 2. I got you 4, and also a 2, so 6, 8 hit points back, and a scolding.
Alex, I mean, you come to, and you look down at your arm, and it's bent at this weird angle, and you can see the bone protruding a few inches above your wrist. And the crowbar is once again stuck fast in the trap.
I didn't even put any weight on it. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look at. Ah!
Quit fucking whining about it.
I do not think that was a good idea. We can always replace the crowbar. It costs us 1,000 gold to replace an Alexander.
I mean, I would like to point out, out of character, that if Alexander ever loses a limb, he can be kick-ass cyborg artificer, because that's one of the magic infusions he can learn.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, I'm going to make a makeshift sling with whatever's left in this room, and then I'm out of here. I'm
Okay.
going to docks.
All right. And we can bring Broken Wall back up. By the time you get back to docks, he has Gus's leg kind of placed in a brace so that he can't move it and injure himself further. And he's just about to finish his work when you guys roll up with Alex's broken arm.
Lucius looks very unhappy as he helps Alex into the room.
And he starts tending to your arm. So if you guys don't receive magical healing, it's going to take a very long time for these wounds to heal. You'll
I
the
can magically heal both of
He
us,
did-
but I need a day of rest.
Okay.
He did get magical healing when I gave him.
Oh, that's true.
healing potion, yeah.
I got a healing potion.
Okay. How many hit points are you still missing?
8.
Okay. I'll say that after you've had a long rest and you can do cure wounds or whatever, if you manage to use the spell while at full hit points, you can restore the damage to these limbs. And we don't have to play for 3 months with a broken arm. Even though that would be way more fun.
Somewhere.
No.
What do you
Disagree.
tell Doc that you found? Doc's sister Estrin is also here, taking this fairly seriously. She's a carpenter in Broken Hill that repairs everybody's fishing boats.
I mean, we trust Doc, right? We have no reason
Yeah.
to withhold
Yeah.
information.
So
Yeah, I told Doc everything when we were here originally.
yeah.
As well as Seeker's idea of they're planning to blow this place up with the intent of blowing up what's above it. If they have any insight on that, like where that could be, that would be really helpful.
Well, first things first. Doc tends the injuries and illnesses of the people of Broken Wall free of charge. He's going to charge each of you 20 gold pieces to set your bone correctly. Let's call it 15 gold pieces because he knows that you're doing good work.
I don't have 15 gold pieces.
I'm looking at the books.
He knows that you're good for it.
So he wanted to know what kind of stuff was going on down there.
Yeah, he wanted it, because he was interested
gonna be-
before you guys set out.
That's going to be about 30 gold pieces worth of information.
And he kind of is taken aback a little bit. He's, oh, I thought we were, who was it that had spoken to him earlier?
It
I
was
think it was mostly
Seeker.
Alex.
It was Seeker.
Oh, it was a Seeker? Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
right. That's right.
He says, tell me this, are the people of Broken Wall still in danger? Is there
Not
going
thanks to... Not anymore, thanks to us. And then I'm going to look at him like asking us for 15 gold.
I mean, he's using resources and expertise.
Yeah, so are we.
I mean, for what it's worth, we might be able to cover the resources with the alchemical components that we recovered.
And try to pay him in trade.
Yeah, if I can get 30 pieces of stuff that would be useful for his doctoring out of all the stuff I scavenged out of the medicine cabinet.
Food for the needy. Does he help the needy? Is that what he...
Are any of you trained in medicine?
Gus is?
Gus, make that medicine check, please. Make intelligence medicine, please.
Intelligence medicine.
Yep.
That is a 15.
15. Some of the spell components, herbs and alchemical concoctions that you brought out would be useful for a doctor to have, and he agrees to reduce the price of your healing by 5 gold a head. So now we're down to 10 gold each. He does seem... He does seem convinced when you tell him that there's not going to be any more trouble, that the people of Broken Wall are safe now. He's mostly concerned that there's going to be another murder.
Today's the 19th?
Yeah, it's nighttime in the 19th by the time you guys... Well, no, because you went in the evening. You would have come back very late that night.
So it's the 20th?
We'll be in an hour or so.
Okay.
So I don't think we didn't take a thorough look down there. There's still some places we hadn't.
Oh, absolutely. Like, there's absolutely still the possibility that someone could, like, still be down there, but we've taken care of the problem of their entire floor exploding.
You know what? I'm going to give him 30 gold. I don't have 30 gold on me, but as soon as I'm back at the ship, I'm going to get a kid to give him 30 gold, because Journey's good for it.
Okay. And what are we doing on the 20th after you guys get back to the barge? Presuming you take a long rest.
This will literally take my entire day to recover. Like, it'll take both my spell slots to heal us.
Okay, so you're not doing anything on the 20th? You're staying back at the barge all day?
Well, no, I just have to cast 2 spells in the morning.
Okay.
All right.
But, like, I'm no good for combat.
Before my rest, I'm going to second wind.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll use a hit die. Might need 2 of them.
Then I'll use a hit die if I have to.
And then what are we doing with the rest of the day?
Yeah, that's all my hit points. Okay.
Your agreement with Journey was that she would pay for incidental charges and things.
Uh-huh. Expenses.
Okay.
And I have Kevin run him a banknote for 30 gold pieces.
Okay.
What did we do with all the stuff? Did we just bring it back to the barge?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go report into Journey and get us our 30 gold.
Shouldn't
what
we
I can do
wait
with my
until we're
unit.
done with the? Shouldn't we wait until we're done with the entire?
Yeah, that's true. We might need to have some more expenses.
We can cover the 30 for right now.
I'll just write up the bill.
Are we going back in there today? Because we're all well aware that there's more.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Right.
You wanna do that today?
I think letting this
Untapped,
lie
but-
fallow. I think letting this lie fallow is going to clue someone in, if it hasn't
That's fair.
already. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw any of that evidence vanish over.
But I'll tell you what I am going to go do. I'm going to head down to the local hardware store and buy a 10-foot pole.
I was just about to suggest that.
And a new crowbar.
Do we want
And a
to,
crowbar.
before we head back out there, do we want to have a plan for what to do with the bugbear? Should we discuss this now while we're sitting here in the comfort of our barge?
Can we go like? Is there like a traveler's bugbear dictionary we can get? Like goblinoid, like
Oh my god.
like common goblinoid.
You'd have
This is
to
bugbear.
commission somebody with the detect language spell to make the scroll for you.
Wait a minute. Guess who has that?
The what language spell?
I have comprehend language.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
that's not the same one.
There we go.
Oh, I mean, I have that as well.
Okay.
I can cast that as a ritual if you guys want. It's just that only lets us understand what he's saying and what we can see.
Yeah. Not that
Yeah.
we can't talk back to him.
It's fine. He's fine down there. Like that's his whole world. But at least now he's not chained to a spot. And if he wants to leave, he has the choice.
If he wants to leave, he's going to go out into Broken Wall and either get himself or someone else killed.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
So it's going to take one long rest to get you guys your spell charges back.
Yep.
If you take 2 long rests, the earliest you could go back in would be early morning on the 21st.
I don't think
No,
we should take 2.
I don't need spell charges. I'm useful with that.
So we're going back in on the evening of the 20th?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you
Soon as
do
we-
with the sails and the fuse and all the good stuff
Oh.
you got?
Oh, that's going in evidence lockup.
Is that
Which
just
is down-
the stone coffin that you have for some reason?
No,
Yeah.
we have this back space. We have this hidden space back here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you put all that down there?
We're gonna come back in
Can-
our
Can we
person-
supplement our income in any way, like expenses with the trade goods and whatnot?
The foodstuffs and things?
Yeah.
Alright, they're not valuable enough. Maybe a couple
The
of coppers.
the foodstuffs before we even left, I would have said we should just pass these out to the people of Broken Wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
repair that the animosity they have for us for some reason.
Uh huh.
So the things that we have back at the barge from looting the place are the magic items, some of the spell components, and the clothes, right?
Right. The foodstuffs were given out.
Okay.
Are you doing that before you go back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
We wouldn't have even bothered to bring them over to the barge. We'd have done that on the way back.
Yeah.
Make I'll let one of you, and then somebody can help if you want. Make a persuasion check.
I'll make this.
Lucius,
I'll
and
have-
go ahead and take a cigarette with you.
At the end of the campaign, everyone's gonna have cancer. And we're gonna
Yep.
figure out why.
High Priest of Ostrom's warning:
Fight a cancer elemental.
smoking has been known to cause lung disease.
Cancer.
It's better than a cigarette mimic.
16, 17 for persuasion.
17. Passing the food out. The people of Broken Wall start warming up to you. I mean, the food you're passing out, this is not... this is not great living. This is... like, dried meats and dried fish and things like that. But are all 5 of you doing this, or just Lucius and one other person?
I was helping out.
Okay.
I mean, sure, I had to cast guidance on them, so I'll be there with my arm in a sling.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a thing Florian would do.
Gus has a broke leg. He's fine.
Okay.
Gus is good.
Nobody says anything to you about it, but you notice that Captain Benjamin looks on from his shack, and he's not exactly frowning, but once he notices that you've noticed him, he limps back into his shack and slams the door.
Sure.
And then I got to get the
I'm not
dungeon
doing
back
it.
out.
I'm
All
not-
right,
I'm not
does
doing it
anyone
for
have any
his approval.
contacts out in the wide world with someone who could take in this bugbear? Because let me tell you, I don't think he's going to be getting a, an adjunct professorship at Deep Mirkwood City.
I know a carny who runs a circus.
He
They
is a bit
speak
of a freak.
Hobgoblin.
He speaks Goblinoid.
That's on you.
I'm all for this.
But I'm
I'll
not.
I'll help. Let's get a look behind that curtain, and then I'll help.
You guys come back in the dungeon.
But,
Evening
Yeah,
of
let's
the
get
20th.
this.
So, Alex, you're going in with no spell charges, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. The holes are where you left them. You climb back up 3 cliffs with the water trickling down. You pass through the room with the warm mud. When you get into this room, you notice that the chain is not dragged out where you left it. It's kind of bunched up haphazardly, laying in the mud right here at the opening.
Is it still hooked to the ceiling?
Yes.
Ooh, I do actually want that chain. I actually have a plan for all that metal. So, on the way out, Gus, could you give me a hand getting this out of here?
I have never been more terrified.
When you
Okay.
come back into
Thanks.
the bugbear's room, excuse me, only the scraps of food on the pallet remain. When you come around the corner, get you guys out of here, and look at the T-junction here, you see blood pooling down into the hallway.
Rip.
Oh, that's bad. That's real bad.
I mean, it's the risk we ran leaving this place without finishing our business here. Lucius looks very upset.
Lucius, looking around the corner, slumped dead on the stairs leading up, with his good leg snapped closed in the bear trap, is the bugbear.
Oh, poor. What was his name? Gort?
Something like that. It had like 4 Ks in it.
I mean,
Lark.
Well, alright, I know this is stupid, but I can't just leave his body like that. I would like to use my thieves' tools to disarm this trap and get him out of there.
Go ahead and make that check.
Such a interesting sentimentality for something that tried to kill us.
It's not even the bug. I can't leave a dead body like that. That's not right. That's a 21.
Okay. And yeah, you take a few moments. You take some bolts out of the walls, and this bear trap contraption you manage to dislodge. You undo the springs and sprockets where it was connected to the stair, and yeah, you manage to... It's very heavy, and it's very unwieldy because it's still technically connected to this bugbear. But you manage to drag his body away with the bear trap attached to it.
Is there anything left in here?
This room looks pretty thoroughly ransacked now.
Clark, you can tell him you died killing one of us.
Does anyone have like a cloth or something we can put over him until we're done?
Very notably, you removed all the cloth from this room.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have anything.
All right, I'll do the best I can to just kind of arrange the body respectfully.
Seeker, may I please have that newly purchased 10-foot pole?
Absolutely. I'll hand
Oh.
over. Big pokey.
Okay.
The poker in the dark.
Is the bead still here?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll kind of stick in the beads and kind of move them around.
When that happens, extremely bright light comes pouring out as soon as you kind of break the plane of the beads and move them aside. And you can see into the room. And it's a cozy little living quarters, all things considered. A nice bed, some personal effects, another wardrobe, a table and chair sitting directly in front of you. On the chair is the source of the light. Some kind of, it's a candle, but it's not burning with fire. It's burning with magic. It's brilliantly bright and illuminating most of the room. Slumped forward on the table, sitting in the chair, is a human man. And one of his arms has been twisted all the way around, so his palm is pointed the wrong direction. And you can see where it's been bound up with a bandage, and he's laying there unconscious.
He's unconscious. I'll very quickly tap the floor. Tap the floor.
Okay.
Tap the floor. Tap the floor.
Just into the room.
As you step in the room, looking over at the corner over here is a small stone hearth where a fire is burning very low, giving some more illumination and a little bit of heat to the room.
Where's the smoke going?
Up a hole above the fire.
You don't have.
The man is breathing weakly as you approach, but does not wake.
Can I? So his arm is twisted wrong. Can I?
Make a medicine check.
Yeah.
Intelligence medicine.
That is a 13.
13. This looks like what would happen if the bugbear grabbed your hand with his giant claw and then wrenched your arm all the way around the wrong direction.
Cool. He probably deserved it. I am still though. Like how close is this man to dying? Is he at any? Is he just unconscious and
He's just unconscious right now. I mean, there's
he's
dried blood on the table, but he's not currently bleeding out. Looks like he bandaged up his wound and then collapsed from exhaustion here.
All right.
I would like to toss the room.
Toss the room. The first thing of note you find is in the wall right here
Mm-hmm.
is a metal lever in the down position.
Nope.
Okay.
Personal effects. Anything of value he probably had stored out in the previous room. And as you all enter the room and the beads kind of stop swinging, the ambient sound behind you, the trickling of water and whatnot, completely vanishes. It becomes completely silent behind you.
You think maybe that something with these beads also dampened sound so that all of the nonsense we got up to out there didn't make its way back in here?
It doesn't seem very smart of this man.
Hang on.
Sounds like it. I mean, well, you got the
Lucius,
trap to protect you. That almost killed nearly 2 of us.
Lucius steps back through the beads, pointedly remaining at the top of the stairs, not stepping onto the trap step.
Well, the step is still depressed, so there's kind of just this cavity in the stone beneath it, where
Yeah, I removed the trap itself.
Lucius steps down
I got the body.
and Lucius steps down, lets the beads swing closed,
Okay.
and then he attempts to say something to Seeker.
Seeker, you can't hear him, even standing right next to him. Not only that, but the light from the room you can't see pouring out once the beads come to a standstill.
All right.
I'll step back into the room and say, "Hey, yeah, that seems to be the case because you didn't say anything." So,
Lucius, you have manacles, don't you?
I do.
Can you throw them over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Possible to you.
I'm going to manacle up this man's legs.
Okay. As you do that, he starts to jostle awake, and with his good arm, and you see his eyes kind of open up, and he goes to lift his head off of the table, and
I poke his bad arm and say, "Be still."
his good hand reaches out for something that he thought was nearby, but isn't. And the rest of you notice there's a hand crossbow sitting on the table that must have fallen from his grip. And you poke his bad arm and tell him to be still. And he is. He goes still. And he allows you to manacle up his legs. And he says in this very hoarse, scratchy, terrible voice, he asks, "Can you help me be rid of him?" And when you look at his face, you see his lips and his tongue are dry and cracked. No saliva in his mouth at all.
Give him some water.
How do you do this?
I'll tell him to lay his head down flat, and then I'll very slowly just drizzle it on his lips.
And as you do it, the water turns to sand in his mouth, and he starts to choke and sputter and spit it out.
Well, I'll stop then. Well, I think this man needs, like, a church.
Can you tell us who did this to you?
And he chokes and sputters a little bit. And he looks at you, and his face looks very sad as he gives the answer. He tells you, I brought this on myself.
Answer a letter?
Whom?
You ask him about the letter?
Yeah, if he answered a letter.
And he motions with his head back behind him, where he has a little writing desk next to his hearth with some correspondence stacked up on it.
I'll
I'll
collect
go
those.
investigate.
And yeah, you find pieces of parchment that you've seen these letters written on. Most of them are empty. But going through the pile, you do find the one that must have been his, opened with the orange wax seal broken. What's next?
While they're ransacking the room, this man's bed is in here, right?
Yeah, he has a straw mat on a couple of wooden stilts in one corner. That looks
is there-
a more comfortable bed than you've seen elsewhere.
Is it like does it have like blankets on it? Is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, some linens.
Okay, I'll go grab some linens and kind of lay.
Well,
it down
actually, one of
flat.
them he would have shredded to make the bandages for his arm.
It doesn't matter. I just need one. I
Okay.
just want to like lay it flat and to get him on it so we can carry him out, like with a
Like a
basically,
stretcher.
yeah, stretcher or a litter.
And as you're doing this, he passes out again.
Good.
All right, I'm going to.
Is he in danger of dying?
I'm looking. I mean, he's not dying from his injuries on his arms, but looking at the condition of this man's face, he's probably dying of thirst.
Lucius, do you want to help me carry him out so we can get him to the church? They might be able to save him.
Are they going to?
Yeah, would they?
Tell them that that their friend might be interested in it when they get back. It's a devil case. Maybe their friend will pay for it. They would know better than us.
I mean,
Okay.
are they going to just sit there and watch a man die, slowly die?
I mean, it's all a question of money.
Is that the kind of god Nimbus is?
I mean, they might tend to him from intellectual curiosity.
Regardless, closest church. Let's go.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Well, you guys are doing that. I'm staying here and toss in the room, though.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. That's what I
Yeah.
intended. I just needed some help carrying.
And
Yeah.
you don't find anything else of value, just
Mhm.
a few more sets of clothes, some personal effects in his wardrobe. Very notably, you don't find anything in the way of wealth. No coin, no gems, and nothing else magical except for the beads.
And is that candle not magic?
And the candle?
And the candle, yeah.
Well, Seeker, you want to take these beads and candle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to identify the candle so we can turn it off?
Let's do it when we get back.
It has a silver cap next to it
Oh, okay.
that can just be put on to douse it.
Yeah, we'll take the... And then I'll let Seeker go ahead. I want to try and use Thieves' Tools to actually remove the thing from the bugbear's leg.
Okay, you can disassemble the mechanism on the bear trap.
And then I'm going to need one of the larger people's help to give this guy a proper burial at sea. Also, probably want to do that at night when no one is around.
Well, you went in here in the evening, so when you leave, it's going to
Okay.
be late evening or nighttime.
So yeah, those are the two things left that Alex wants, and he needs Gus's help for, is getting the bugbear's body out to bury it at sea and collecting that chain.
Is there anything flammable in the room, Rick?
A lot of cloth and thing, maybe a little bit of lantern oil.
And
Tinderbox, perhaps.
I'm gonna say to Alex, my carnival friend told me that goblinoids actually prefer to be burned, cremated.
Oh. Okay. Well, some lantern oil. Yeah, we can do that.
All right,
What are you burning?
we're cremating the goblinoid.
Yeah, but where? Where are you doing this?
There's a
Oh,
hole
in
for the smoke here.
Yeah, I think
We'll move them over by the hearth.
Are you doing this before or
Right,
after you remove the beads?
after.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last thing we do. We'll even get the chain out of here first.
Okay. Yeah, you drag this.
Yeah,
How long is this chain? I actually. There's a good 60 feet of heavy chain left. Just
The outer
totally
outer
rusted.
level is rusted, but that's nothing a little acid can't deal with.
And yeah, where do you take the thirsty man? To the of Nimbus?
Yeah.
And Nimbus is not a healing god. There's nothing that she can do for him.
Okay, and I'll ask her, is there anywhere, where's the nearest healing god?
So going down the list here,
Where's the nearest healing god?
I mean,
Gus, listen, Gus is agnostic. Leave him alone. He has no proclivities one way or the other.
there's Noribo, the god of chance. You guys know the high priest there pretty well.
Wait. The fake high priest?
The largest
Hey,
temples would be the temples of Osprim and Zerbo.
Isn't Osprey like a god of like survival of the fittest?
Yeah, more or less. Zerbo is as well. There's the Hammer of Dwerdin that deals with the Dwarven militia. They're an order of paladins.
I mean, what we do have our own healing stuff at the house. We do have a couple more healing potions, don't we?
Right. That's not what I'm worried about. The fact that, and I'll remind him that the water turned to sand and he's dehydrated.
Right.
Who took his letter?
I did,
Luke?
What have you done with it?
but I would have given it to Lucius pretty
Okay.
much as soon as I saw what it was.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take hold of it. And, take a look. Read it over.
And it just reads water repeatedly.
Yeah. We gotta figure out how to get this guy some water, or
So-
he's gonna die.
You need to. What you probably need to do is remove curse.
Yeah, you probably. I am.
You're telling
Florian
me all
is
of these
very-
spells that I cannot cast.
Florian is very, very curious, like, to the extent of this curse.
Okay. Well, let's deal with this curse next week.
Like, could he drain, like, the whole wharf?
Like, just throw him in the ocean. And
Wow.
It becomes a-
See what happens?
I mean, you're a dick. There's just no other way to put that.
I think what would happen is that like his mouth would fill with sand, and then he wouldn't be able to get any more water in his mouth, so the rest would be fine.
I think it would just.
You'd
I think the salt
suffocate.
water, since it couldn't parch him, wouldn't be affected.
That's a very good
Florian's
point.
just curious.
That's awful. That's awful.
He's just curious.
You're all terrible people.
I'm gonna go ahead and post a straw poll link in the Twitch chat here. Go ahead and vote for who the blip is. I have to go dark for a few seconds in order to calculate some experience totals, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Who's the most creative today?
Give that to Destil for suggesting the excavation for doing it during high tide.
Yeah, like
Right. Even though I didn't want to do it.
it was still creative.
It was very creative.
It would have worked, but
Yeah, it would have worked.
Who would have furthered the party's goals today? I can words. I
I
promise.
feel like Gus for taking every pitfall in that dungeon.
he did. He really did.
I was gonna say Seeker for Doc,
Yeah, but then I paid dogs, so.
but I'm fine with either.
I actually say Lucius for putting up with that old man and his stupid nonsense.
I feel like that's more of an intangible.
Listen, all Florian has magic missile. Good taking care of him.
I almost hit him with my hammer. Like my snap judgment was to hit him with my hammer.
All right, let's go with Gus for now.
Okay.
Who's a badass today?
I think that was pretty good asking Doc to pay us.
Listen, the balls on Seeker is something to behold. It's just, mwah, just your sheer chutzpah and gall. I love it. Don't ever change.
Okay, and then intangibles.
Do we want to go with our suggested intangible?
Yeah, Lucius for putting up with that old man and his bullshit, and just Man, you had infinite patience, and I'm just so proud of you. Even if it
Glad
didn't
Lucius
work.
does, because I sure as fuck didn't.
Also, McLean, you said that's a curse that we haven't done before. That's not true. In the last campaign, Razu got a curse that turned everything she ate or drank into ash.
It's true. That's the thing that happened.
An ass mouth.
All right.
No, not that. No, not that at all.
For a whole bunch of giant crabs, and the bugbear,
Giant enemy crab.
and the halfling pig, everybody has 85 experience points for combat this session.
Sure.
Who wants to make a case for Blitz first?
I'll go.
All right.
Okay, neutral good. I must be a benefactor and strive to leave things in a better state than I found it. For seeing this wretched bugbear, and who literally just has the mind of a child, and really just only attacked us because we walked up into his house and started beating up on his crabs.
Okay.
And cutting him free.
Okay.
And that's in the video, and that's all I got.
Okay.
Because I didn't get a chance to get drunk today.
Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
I've got opportunities everywhere, if you can see it, for taking the foodstuffs which were valueless to us and handing them out to the people of Broken Wall to buy their gratitude.
Okay.
I've got chaotic good. Good is only taking from those that can afford it. Chaos is taking them for all they're worth. For attempting to help the bugbear without asking for anything in return.
Okay.
And I've got anybody can be fooled except for me for spending my combat round trying to make sexy bugbear noises.
Okay. Who else?
All right, so I've got alignment, lawful, neutral. Always be willing to take the law into your own hands, but no further. For telling the fishwives that we were investigating the murder that obviously the green caps wouldn't get to, moss caps. I've got my ideal. The dead deserve dignity. The living deserve to reap what they sow. For trying to deal with the hobgoblin's body after he was killed by that booby trap.
Okay.
Bugbear.
And I've got the flaw. I'm sure we can handle this. For trying to get my crowbar back.
Very good. Who else?
I'll go.
All right.
Alright, Lucius's alignment. Lawful neutral, take your place in society and work well for your fellow people. Take care of your own. For insisting that we need to go back in there as soon as possible and deal with, and make sure that nothing else is going to come out, crawling out of that place and ruin anyone's life.
Okay.
My flaw, double or nothing, for standing up in front of the party tank as he was, upside down in the water trying to cover him from the bugbear,
Okay.
and getting the shit kicked out of me for it.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah. If Nodal hadn't stepped in with his thing, I would have gone unconscious there.
And then there was.
And my ideal, knowledge is paramount, for looking at all of this stuff and saying, yes, we need all of this stuff to figure out exactly what they were up to down here, and taking stock of it.
And then there was Florian.
All right. True neutral. Sometimes you have laws, but laws are restrictive. Sometimes you have to be good, but there's no way to define good. For completely and utterly not being able to comprehend everyone's affection for the bugbear, and in fact suggesting that they should probably kill the bugbear because it tried to kill them and it looked like it was in pain.
Okay.
Flaws, there's always an explanation, and we must always consider it. For saying to Benji, I can offer you no evidence that I did not kill the man. And starting that whole sequence of events.
Okay.
Lucius is not happy with you for that.
Is Lucius ever happy with Florian?
I mean, it comes and goes.
And I had an idea on it. I don't remember what it was.
For what?
There are infinite truths. We must experience as many as we can and figure out their validity. Oh,
For asking those people about their political
their
beliefs?
political beliefs. That's exactly what it was. Yes.
Yeah, I knew that's exactly where you were going with it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
There's one blip on the line. You either all earn it or nobody earns it.
Okay.
The answer has to be complete. This is the Phoenix Wright moment. I know that you guys have enough information. What were the mechanics? Because you don't know the motive yet, but what were the mechanics, given what you found in the dungeon, of this man's plan? How is it supposed to work?
Okay, so let's work this out, guys. We've got the eye holes at the fuse goes down.
Yep.
Mhm.
We have the
Yeah.
canceled order for a ridiculous amount of dragon powder.
Which
Right.
would presumably be put in that hole.
Right.
We've got the what was it? A box that when you open it up explodes.
Monstrously
Yeah,
hot.
uncontrollable fire, or something like that, right?
And then you have 2 sheets that can be used to form walls of
Protect-
force for about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Yeah.
So, run the fuse down to the Dragonpowder. Use the sheets to protect himself. I'm not really sure where the fire comes into play. Anybody got any ideas? Like,
Well, he
because
lets loose the fire, and then he wraps the sheets around him to protect himself.
Well, I think he gets Kronk or the whatever to open up the boxes, letting loose the fire, and then he protects himself with the sheets.
Okay,
I
well,
Blocking
I've
the
got.
tunnel.
Let me throw one thing here. One sheet he wraps around himself. The other he wraps around the boxes, which are on top of the dragon powder.
That directs the explosion in one direction.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
ballistics.
Destil got it. The sheets are used to direct the explosion forward and upward, so the force of it does not fill up the tunnel, and you don't waste any of that energy. Good job. I'm giving everybody a blip for that, for working that out. So, Destil, do you want to be Nancy Drew or one of the Hardy Boys?
I'm fond of Frank.
can one of us be Perot?
Apparently.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We award one blip for the most creative solution to a problem this session.
We gave
That
that to
was
Destil
Destil?
mid-session for coming up with his underwater hat breathing idea.
Okay. Who furthered the party's goals the most?
They give that to me for my amazing trap finding skills.
Those were pretty good.
Yeah.
Very helpful. What was the most badass action this session?
We gave that to me for asking the doctor to pay us for our info.
This is badass, not jerk-ass.
Listen, the shut spa on Nodal has to be rewarded.
Intangibles.
That
We
went
gave
to-
it to Lucius because, I mean, somebody had to jump on the hand grenade that was Captain Benjamin and Lucius.
After Florian pulled the pin and left the room.
Yeah.
Listen, Florian at worst blew on that fire.
And
That fire was already going.
Florian took our straw poll this week. So,
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Keelian.
So everybody's taking 5 blips, except for Gustavus is taking 4.
Mm-hmm.
A blip right now, if you cash it in for experience, is worth, you're what, level 3?
Two.
2.
2. They're
Two.
worth 20 points each.
Okay, so that's
Alright, so I'm able to. Okay, so I gotta spend 4. That's
It's another 100 for me.
So Alex, you got to cash in all 5 of yours this week, because you were at 6 this session. Florian, you had 3, you just earned 5, so you're going to have to cash in a couple too.
Yep.
Gus was at 4 and just earned 4.
Mm-hmm.
Lucius was at 5 and just earned 5, and Seeker was at 6 and earned 5.
Yep.
This tells me I need to use much, much harder monsters to get you guys to use these blips for
No.
reals.
Don't think you need to do that.
I think I do. I
No.
think I absolutely
I
Are
built
there-
my entire character concept around not needing to use blips rerolls.
What? Like, so question:
Mhm.
Are these harder monsters worth more experience?
Oh, their CR is
No.
bigger.
Okay, I'm on board. Tell me more.
I mean, I give you what the CR says they're worth.
So sorry, how much?
You say you're on board until you get your eyes ripped out.
Each one is worth 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Listen, he's not going to.
40. All right.
He's not going to do that again. That would just be repeating himself.
Think about how funny it would be the second time.
Yeah, no, I absolutely believe that Rick Road would pull some characters' eyes out and make it a permanent disability.
I like how Treble said that with such confidence. He wouldn't do that again. McDohl, how many mimics have you fought?
But no, listen, mimics are classically good. It's just like
The
When you
Oculo
don't-
Swarm is also classically good.
I'm just saying, you're gonna need to get on my level, because I made my players fight a mimic.
Is everybody just cashing in their excess and going in next week with 6?
yes, I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Zeroed everybody out. And that'll do it for this week. When we pick it up next week, we'll figure out what we can do with the Thirsty Man.
Yep.
And we'll see how far this fire spreads, since you lit an uncontrolled fire just right underneath the city somewhere.
That's what we did.
Do you think it's just water that he can't drink? Because we could start a bar called the Thirsty Man if it turns out he can drink ale.
Alright guys, thanks
See?
for playing, and thanks for
We
watching.
should experiment.
See everybody next week. You really should not experiment on a dying man like this. That's
Yeah.
like some Professor Mengele.
Small